All right, people, what's up? This is your boy Alexander. And today's YouTube video is going to be called Sex Talk 101, Episode 32, Sex with Young Women. Now, in this video, I want to help men from the ages of 18 to 29 years of age that are angry and sexually frustrated. And I want to help them because a lot of them have been asking themselves this question, and I don't want you guys to ball your hand up into a fist and hit this wall like you're the Incredible Hulk and shit because there's a misunderstanding. Now, you get a lot of older men who tell you you should go date young, attractive women from the age of 18 to 27 or from the age of 18 to 29, which you prefer and you're opposed to. But there comes a time in life when you try to ask a woman out to lunch and dinner, and for whatever reason, they say no. And you say to yourself, well, she say she like me. She, supposedly find me interesting. But all of a sudden, when I try to ask her out to lunch and dinner, the answer is no. And that is because the woman is playing mind games. You see, women from the age of 18 to 29, they have a lot of power and a lot of influence in their prime. For about 12 to 13 years, they're in their prime. Or you could just say 14 years if you want to, they're in their prime. And you give a woman your phone number, well, she can determine whether she want to call or text message you anytime she want, whenever she get good and ready. And for the most part, she can do that because she has all the power and all the influence. For about 12 to 13 years, she can do that. And you see, as a man, you're kind of powerless because a man's power, or should I say, a man's financial prime doesn't come until he's around 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 years of age. That's when men come into their financial power. Your physical prime as a man starts at age 15 and it ends at age 30, 31, 32 years old. And your financial prime, how much money you make, comes to life at 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 years of age. That's when you're in your financial prime. That's when everything comes together physically and financially. Everything comes together like a custom-made fit glove, as they say. Now, when women reject you, a lot of times you will find out that these women from the ages of 18 to 27 or from the ages of 18 to 29 do this because they want to see how desperate you get for the vajayjay. They want to see how desperate you get for the punani. They want to see if you're going to go above and beyond. And guess what? You're going to get rejected. Now, when you go 2 months, 3 months, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, you don't get no phone calls, no email messages, no text messages. The woman is playing a mind game. And you see, women, when they have girls talk, they will, what's the word I'm looking for? They will go to the gym to work out. Before they go see a movie, they will talk. And a lot of women will laugh because they find it funny and entertaining that you think you have a chance. So a woman's arrogance and her ego come out, and most women laugh like, this guy thinks he has a chance to get with me and my vajayjay. And most women will talk about how most men are stupid and delusional on the idea that they think they actually have a chance. And why these women are clowning and making fun of you at school, at work, at the movie theater, at the gym, they're text messaging, they're calling each other because they think it's funny and entertainment that you think you have a shot when in reality you don't have a shot. You don't have a chance. And a woman will do this for quite some time. Now, let's say that you try dating a woman that's 18 and you get rejected. Well, that's 1 year of rejection. Okay, she's 19 years old. That's 2 years of rejection. Okay, she's 20 years old. That's 3 years of rejection. Okay, she gets 21 years old, that's 4 years of rejection. Well, there's no such thing of a time machine, so you can't go back in time and you can't get those 4 years back. Those 4 years, they're gone. You're never getting those 4 years back. Okay, let's say you don't want to mess with women from the age of 18 to 21. So let's say you want to mess with a woman that's from the age of 22 years old to 29 years old. Well, the problem with that is, you see, by the time you get to your financial prime, by the time you get 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 years old, you're not going to find these women physically, sexually attractive. And the next generation of women is going to come up. See, what happens is these women are dating basketball players, football players, baseball players, tennis players, soccer players, hockey players. They're messing with alpha males, and an alpha male can be anyone. An alpha male could be a basketball player, a football player, baseball players, tennis players, soccer players, guys that do hockey, a film producer, a film director, a songwriter, an R&B singer, a rock star, a guy that has his own business. An alpha male can be anyone. And for the most part, women are dating alpha males that they find physically, sexually attractive. And that's going to go on for 4 years. So you're not going to get no phone calls, no text messages, no emails. And what's going to bother you is this is going to go on for 2 months, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8, 9, 10. It's going to go on for about 10 months before a year go by. And what's going to bother you is you're going to see her talking to guys that she finds physically, sexually attractive. Now you might say to yourself, why can't she just open her mouth and just say yes or no? You see, in a woman's subconscious, if a woman says yes, in her mind, the man wins and the woman loses and the woman submits. So then the woman think in her mind, I lost. But if the woman says no, you take it as I've been rejected and you're going to talk to another woman. So she's not going to say yes and she's not going to say no. And she has all the power and influence. And about 85 to 90% of the time, a woman's going to take full advantage of that. Yeah, she's going to do it. And by the time you do get the girl, you have less time. And what I mean by less time is, for 4 years, you got rejected. Now, here's the sad truth. The more you chase a woman, the more you turn a woman off. The more desperate you are to chase a woman, the more you turn a woman off. The more you bitch and complain, the more you turn a woman off. And if a woman, and you know how you can tell when something's real or when something's fake? If a woman makes a conversation easy with a man, about 85 to 90% of the time, the woman finds that man physically, sexually attractive enough to where he can take that woman out to lunch and dinner and score. And you guys do know what scoring is. If a woman makes it complicated and difficult for you, it's because it's a mind game and it's also a shit test. And guess what? That can go on for 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And you see, by the time you get rejected, here's what you should look at. The more a woman, and here's the biggest mistake that a woman makes most of the time. She gives you too much time to yourself. Remember in my YouTube videos when I said self-improvement? The more you self-improve yourself, the more you graduate from one level to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. And that can take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6, 7. So while you're doing self-improvement, she's out having fun. She's enjoying herself. And most of us men, we're not having no fun. We're not having no excitement. But the woman is. And guess what? By the time you're finished self-improving yourself, you finally get the girl. But here's the problem. You now have less time to do what it is that you were trying to do. Whether that is take her out to lunch and dinner, whether that is to have sex and have kids by her, whether that's to get married, you have less time to do it. So now the timetable gets cut in half. The more you chase a woman, let's say you chase her and you get rejected, you go from 100% to 90%. You still want to chase? Okay, fine. You drop from 90% to 80%. You want to chase a third time? You go from 80% to 70%. You want to chase some more? You drop from 70% to 60%. You drop from 60% to 50%. And next thing you know, your sexual V market as a man drops to an all-time low at 50%. The more you chase a woman, the more you turn her off. The more you bitch and complain, the more you turn her off. The more you're desperate to chase, the more you turn her off. You see, when women want to play mind games, they want to see what they can get away with. If they find out you got a car, well, they want to see how many times can they get a ride from you in your car before you come to the realization she's doing it for fun and entertainment. I'm not making this up, I'm telling the truth. And you see, while you're doing self-improvement, she's already, in 5 years, she's already had sex with 5 guys. In 5 years, she's had sex with 10 guys or 5 guys in a 5-year period. And by the time you get with her, she's already had sex. So you can never claim the title of number one, number uno. You cannot claim the title. It's like a car race. If you're not number one, if you're not number two, if you're not number three, if you're not number 4 in the car race, you can't claim the title of number one. So if you're like number 8 or number 9 or number 10th, which is the last place in the car race, then it's like what Don Sharpner said on YouTube. It's just your turn to have sex with the girl. It's just your turn. Now, you have less time to do what it is that you're supposed to do. And by the time the girl gets 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 years old, 35, she has no more power. All of her power and influence is gone. From the age of 18 to 29, for about 12 to 13 years or 14 years, she had all the power, she had all the control, and she had all the fun and entertainment for 14 years. Now that she's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, her power is gone. And at that point, you do not find the woman physically, sexually attractive no more. So now what happens is when you get 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 years old, what happens is you end up going after the next generation of beautiful, attractive women from the ages of 18 to 27 or from the ages of 18 to 29, which you prefer, because now you're in your financial prime. You would have already self-improved yourself to the point where you now have a house, you have a car, you have 2 jobs or 3 jobs, you're making a lot of money, or you might have your own private business. And the women who didn't want to give you your shot, by the time she approached 28 or 29 years old, now she want to give you your shot. And the problem with that is you only have 2 years to do what it is that you're supposed to do. Now, if you can get 5 out of 12 years, 5 out of 12 to 13 years, that's good. If you can get 7 out of 12, or if you can get 8 out of 12, that's pretty good. But if you get 1 year out of 12, that's terrible. If you get 2 years out of 12, that's bad. If you get 3 years out of 12, that's bad. Now, if you get 4 out of 12, 4 is better than getting 1 out of 12 or 2 out of 12 or 3 out of 12. So if you cut the time in half, you only have 10 years. And in that 5 to 10 years, If you're not able to get the girl when she's 23, 24, 25, or 26 or 27, then you've lost too much time. All that time has been wasted. All that time is gone. And you can't get that time back, unfortunately. So then what happens is you end up going after the next generation of young, attractive women. Now, there's three things that a woman fears, and it's called transfer deflection. I'm going to call it transfer of deflection. That means if a woman rejects you, reject her right back. If a woman ignore you, ignore her right back. If a woman replace you, replace her right back. Those are three things women don't like. Women don't like being ignored. Women don't like being rejected, and women don't like being replaced. You see, what you're going to find out is by doing that, two things are going to happen. Either the woman is going to give you the explanation on why she don't want to give you the day and time, or she's going to run away and hide like a coward. And you see, you do this more to women, they're going to respect you for it. See, women play mind games and do shit tests on men, on guys they can easily walk all over like a doormat. So the mind game can last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. It can last 8 years. If the guy is weak-minded and the man don't stand up for himself and don't come to realization that it's just a game, it's just fun and entertainment for her. And you see, in that 5 to 10 year period, she would have already had sex with a lot of guys. And while you're waiting for your turn, unfortunately, that's all the realization it is. It's just you getting your turn. But if you don't want to wait until 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 or 8 years for your turn, then start doing it now. And you see, usually guys wait until there's another girl that's 22 years old so they can still get their shot. And you see, when women do this, women do this because to them it's funny and it's entertaining. And you see, these are the women that when they get in their 30s and their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s, these are the women that get pumped and dumped. They go from being young, beautiful, attractive women to being women in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s and their 60s, and then they get pumped and dumped because of the mind games they love to play. Back when I was a kid, they used to say that if a woman tries to intentionally on purpose do that, that means she's not ready to be in a relationship. If she's 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, that means she's not ready to be in a relationship. You might say, what if she already has a boyfriend? Well, if she has a boyfriend, then to her, it's just games. It's just entertainment. And I'm explaining to you what happens as time goes on. So if you men get frustrated because an 18-year-old or 19 or 20 or 21-year-old girl intentionally on purpose goes 6 months to a year not calling you and not text messaging you, or every so often she might call and you pick the phone up and you can't hear her voice on the phone, yeah, she want to play games. And you see, the more you stay away from the girl, like let's say you get you a driver's license. Well, look how much time and preparation goes into you trying to get a car. Well, then her girlfriends are going to communicate to her that he's finally figured out that you just want to play games with him. That's why I said it's better to get 5 out of 12, 7 out of 12, 8 out of 12. Worst case scenario, if all you can get is 4 out of 12, then you're okay. Because after you lose 4 years, after you get rejected and the girl's 18, 19, 20, 21, and you got rejected for 4 years, well, now you don't have 12 to 13 years no more. Now you have close to 10. And if you can get 5 out of 12 or 5 out of 10, if you can get 7 out of 12 or 7 out of 10, if you can get 8 out of 12 or 8 out of 10, then you're good. Worst case scenario, if you can get 4 out of 12 or 4 out of 10, you're good. Versus you get 1 out of 12. You get 2 out of 12 or 3 out of 12. That's terrible. So what I'm trying to explain to you in this video, that most of the time, young women want to see what they can get away with. And if you can't catch the signs from the very beginning, then it's going to be very hard. Eventually, you're going to figure out the sad reality of it, and you're gonna see what it comes down to. So I hope this, was a big help to you. Until next time, peace.